From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a severe weather alert.
Welcome in, everybody. It is 5:39. New severe thunderstorm warning here. This includes Marshall County. This is just to the north of the Lewisburg area, right along Highway 431. And this will continue to make its way on off to the northeast and will impact the Chapel Hill community here in probably about 10 minutes or so. The main issue with this is quarter-size hail and the threat for damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. And again, this is that new severe thunderstorm warning for Marshall County. It does include a very small eastern part of Murray County. But then you go west of that, you still have that severe thunderstorm warning on the northeastern side of Murray County. Columbia, you're seeing a cell on top of you right now, but that one's not severe. You're kind of in between two severe thunderstorm warnings right now. Kelly's going to be zooming in tight right here. So this is right on top of the Berlin community. Pretty good hail core here. So no, I don't think there's any like huge hail with this like what we saw earlier. We actually had some golf ball size hail and baseball size hail reported in northeastern Mississippi. But this is definitely a strong storm here. So the Weather Service in Nashville felt like it definitely needed to have a severe thunderstorm warning on it for that quarter-size hail potential. And that is right here on the Highway 431 corridor north of Lewisburg, right on top of the little town of Berlin. Okay, let's go ahead and get a storm track on this. Again, this is going to be moving northeast of Lewisburg. So if you're in Lewisburg, your weather alert might be going off because you technically are in the polygon, but this will be staying off to the northeast of you all. And Kelly, that is moving at, let me look at the warning here, 50 miles per hour, northeast at 50. And so this will continue to move through the northern part of Marshall County here. So Caney Springs right now, is about 7 minutes away at 5:48. Pottsville about 5:50. Is that Wilhoit Mills, I believe is what it says, at 5:51. Chapel Hill at 5:52. Holt's Corner at 5:57. And then eventually continue to move on off to the northeast and getting out of Lewis County. We're talking places like Eagleville, Kirkland, Triune, and Arlington, and that's between 6 and 6:10. Again, it's 5:42 right now. So this will continue to track on to the northeast. Will likely stay in the Marshall County area for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Again, getting towards the Chapel Hill community, Holt's Corner right here on the northern side of the county. This is Highway 31 at this side of Marshall County, and that cell, the part of the hail core, is just now moving off to the east of Highway 431. That's the Barron Button. What does that show right around there, Kelly? Is that a quarter size? Yeah, that's quarter size hail there. This is a little delayed. The data's algorithm, so it takes some time for it to update based on the newest radar information. So it shows it's back here, but that's actually now further off to the northeast between Berlin and Caney Springs here. It looks like the hail core is just going to stay to the southeast of Pottsville, right here along Tennessee Highway 99 that runs from Interstate 65 all the way over to US 31. Laws Hill seeing some of that action as well, and Farmington, you're in that warning, but just like Lewisburg, it's going to stay off to the north of you guys. So again, this is that new severe thunderstorm warning for Marshall County. Let's back things out and give a broad view, Kelly, and kind of show what all is going on here. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning here for parts of Colbert and Lauderdale County. So if you want to switch over to the Columbus NexRad real quick, Kelly, we can go in and take a look at this. This storm's still been ongoing, and it's still packing a punch out there. I haven't really seen any reports from the Weather Service of any hail with this. Well, I had to take that back just now, or just a little bit ago. Observed hail nickel size on this storm. That was a while ago. That was about 20 minutes ago. So this is still putting down some hail, which I'm not surprised, but it's probably not quarter size at this point. It's probably closer to that nickel size, but there could potentially be very isolated instances where it gets a little above nickel size. So still producing some hail out of this storm. This is the hail core itself is just to the west of Stewartville and northeast of Wright. And this will eventually cross Alabama Highway 20 on the very northern part of Lauderdale County here between the Natchez Trace Parkway and Alabama Highway 20. And this will continue to move into parts of Wayne County, southern Wayne County. So it'll be interesting to see if the Weather Service in Nashville ends up extending that warning. And based on seeing that presentation, I wouldn't be shocked if they issue a warning for that. So again, this is something that we'll just have to keep an eye on. So for right now, Cypress Inn, Waynesboro, the southern part of Wayne County, you are not under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. The cell to the south of it near Rhodesville and Oakland, this is not severe. It's in the severe warning, but this is not the storm that is prompted that warning. But still, this will have maybe a little bit of thunder and lightning with it, some heavy rain, maybe some gusty winds, maybe some very, very small pea-sized hail. But the main issue is that severe thunderstorm warning for that severe storm just to the west of Stewartville, moving to the northeast, and eventually move close to Cypress Inn and the southern part of Wayne County. Kelly, let's back things out one more time and kind of show all the situation here. If you want to go to the radar network, that actually might be better because you can actually see a little bit better storm activity. So again, there's that first severe thunderstorm warning that we mentioned for northern Marshall County. This will continue to move northeast and eventually get into the Murfreesboro area. Columbia, you're sitting pretty good right now. You had a little shower move through, but both warnings were nowhere near you. And then, of course, you got that severe thunderstorm warning back there. We're still watching this cell that actually, as soon as I pointed down there, the Weather Service in Birmingham issued a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Marion and Winston counties. So, Kev, you want to kind of pan the radar down there just a little bit. You don't have to really zoom in, but just kind of pan it down. So this will eventually move into parts of southern Franklin and southwestern Lawrence County. So the Weather Service in Huntsville might have to go with the severe thunderstorm warning for that later on. But behind it, there's really not a lot of activity. And the model guidance, Fred talked about this. I've talked about this today during my noon as well. But it's bounced back and forth between if we were going to see some stuff that developed, where it was going to be. Was it going to be further west? Was it going to be further east? But the one thing that it did show that I think it might actually be latching onto is the fact that you had that first initial batch that moved through, and then there really wasn't a lot of stuff behind it. And then our next focus ends up being the chance for that line to get close to our area. Again, that's still an if, but I think that's kind of what's going on here is you're starting to lose the storm activity off to our southwest. So this might be the end of the storm threat. We'll have to wait and see on that. Still supercells off to our west that are tornado warned. Those will continue to move off to the northwest of our viewing area. What you got, Fred?
They've just expanded tornado watch in Middle Tennessee. It looks like at least over to Wayne, Lawrence, Lewis. And I can't tell if they have Murray or Marshall involved as well, but they've expanded it into Middle Tennessee now.
Go ahead and, Kelly's going to do that. Yeah, I see what they have. So, yeah, Wayne County and Lawrence County, you guys were now under that tornado watch. That includes Murray County. So they did expand that. And I imagine because they expanded it, it is technically a PDS, but we probably...
Well, no. That may not be an expansion. That may be
a new watch.
I'm just now seeing it on the screen, so I don't have details.
Okay, gotcha. So anyway, regardless of that, there is a tornado watch that is now in effect for our southern Tennessee counties of Wayne and Lawrence that goes until midnight tonight.
And again, Lewis and Murray as well.
And Lewis and Murray, yes, for the further northern part of our counties as well. Again, those are your severe thunderstorm warnings. We're still watching those storms. Tornado warnings, they're off to our west, and they should likely remain that way. But again, we're still watching these storms as they evolve this afternoon. But the good news is, looking at the radar, after this little batch right here, there's really not a lot of development that's happening off to the southwest. So that's kind of making me optimistic that maybe our storm potential here for this afternoon, that might be the end of it. So the Weather Service in Huntsville is going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning so we can stay on just a little bit longer. It's good for this cell right here that's moving into parts of Franklin and Lawrence counties. So Kelly, if you want to go ahead and just pop on the Columbus NextRad, and we can look at that one down here. They haven't issued it yet, but Hunter Kramer at the Weather Service is saying that they will be issuing one here momentarily, as it is getting very close to the county line here. And this is a pretty nice little looking cell that's right on top of Haleyville, and that will move to the north. It should generally stay to the east of Phil Campbell, but it will get right along. Is that Alabama? That's 243. That's, Alabama Highway 243. So that will cross the county line into parts of southern Franklin County and could get into parts of southwestern Lawrence County. Right now, again, just kind of based on where the skip marks are showing and kind of where the storms have generally tracked today, this probably will end up going between Russellville and Moulton and get into the western part of the Bankhead National Forest here. So, Kelly, if you want to go ahead and do a storm track on that, that's still going to be moving at about 45 miles per hour. Everything outside today has been moving generally around 45 to 50 miles per hour. So on that storm track here, that's going to impact Posey Mill at 554, Oak Grove at 602, Mount Hope at 608, Newburgh at 608, Youngtown at 610, Landersville at 613, Bethsaida at 615, Flat Rock at 615, Old Bethel at 615, and then the Hatton community way up here right along Alabama Highway 157 at about 619. So again, this is going to end up being a new severe thunderstorm warning eventually here that the Weather Service, they're saying that they're issuing one, but they hadn't done it yet. They're saying dime-sized hail has been reported with that storm, but that core is looking a little bit better here. As Kelly, go ahead and can you pop on the, is there like a VIL density button there? You see a VIL density? I'm just curious about something real quick. What this will show is basically the updraft strength, and it will tell me whether or not it's actually a pretty significant updraft or not. And that's actually not too bad. It's a little bit delayed. There's that warning that they just issued, so it will pop on here very briefly. So yeah, there's, again, dime-sized hail has been reported with this, so there's a chance that this is another strengthening updraft, and that could be producing some quarter-sized hail here soon. And that's what the warning says. The main issue that they've warned on is actually quarter-sized hail. The wind threat they put on this is at 50 miles per hour, so they're not saying that there's going to be a bigger damaging wind risk with this storm. So we can pop back on the reflectivity, and there's that warning. Wow, they actually did a pretty big polygon with that, and that goes all the way up to the Tennessee River. So this includes the east side of Russellville. It does include Phil Campbell. Phil Campbell, you got a storm on top of you right now. That one's probably not the severe one. There's going to be this one coming out of Winston County and Marion County. So there's still a chance that there could be some pea-sized hail with that one, but it's the one south of you that we'll be watching on. And this does include the far western side of Moulton, includes Hatton, includes Cortland, includes Town Creek, includes very close to the Hillsborough community here, right along Alabama Highway. That's alternate 72, Alabama Highway 20, as you go into parts of Lawrence County. And again, like I mentioned, this goes all the way up to the Tennessee River, includes a very eastern sliver of Colbert County. This goes up right up to the eastern side of the Shoals city limits. Again, it's this cell that's coming out of Winston and Marion counties that has that severe thunderstorm warning with it for quarter-sized hail and winds at about 50 miles per hour. Kelly, let's go ahead and back things out as we're getting close to the 6 o'clock hour here, just to show that these are the only storms that we're dealing with. Like I mentioned, you got a severe thunderstorm warning in northern Marshall County. That's continued to move off to the northeast, so it's getting out of our viewing area. That's getting closer to the Murfreesboro area. Still watching this cell that's actually just now crossed into the Tennessee state line, and it looks like the Weather Service in Nashville is not going to opt to do a severe thunderstorm warning for that, but that still could have a little bit of a hefty cell, or excuse me, some, well, I was trying to say it's still a pretty hefty cell. So there's still a chance that this could have some gusty winds, maybe some small hail as well. But again, those are the severe thunderstorm warnings that we're watching right now. And I'm looking at the Weather Service in, well, I thought I was looking at Nashville. I'm actually looking at Memphis. And they are, well, there's a reply here. Let me click on that. Kelly, do you have a mic on at all? Did you put one on?
Yes, I have one on. I'll go ahead and talk.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and let me toss to you, and you go through some things real quick.
Yeah, so we are just looking at, right now we have 3 severe warned storms in our viewing area. That one coming up into Franklin County as well as into Lawrence County in Alabama. Again, that's still just south of the viewing area, but just about to cross over those county lines. And then we have that other warning in far northern Marshall County in Tennessee. That is about to exit Marshall County as these storms are moving about 45 to 50 miles an hour. So so they are moving rather quickly, and that storm will continue to move northeastward. So again, places like Lewisburg, you folks are not included. That storm is well to the north of you. Again, it's continuing to move northeastward, and then we have that other severe warned storm now entering into parts of Wayne County in Tennessee. It looks like they're not going to extend that severe thunderstorm warning, I suppose, based on the lack of any sort of reports with that cell, but it's still a pretty hefty thunderstorm moving into southern Wayne County.
Yeah, that's right, Kelly. Actually just found that thread on the Weather Service chat. So they're saying it's been on the downtrend and looking below severe limits. They'll keep an eye on it, but they're not going to issue a warning yet. But let's go ahead and zoom on in just to give a heads up. If you are in Wayne County here, again, this is not a severe storm, but this is one that if you are outside or you're planning on going to church or, running outside here in the next 15 to 20 minutes, make sure you keep an eye on this. It's right on top of Cypress End right now, and it will continue to track on off to the north and get into parts of Collinwood and Waynesboro. If you want to go ahead and do a quick storm track on that, Kelly, moving at about 45 miles per hour. So this will probably get very close to Waynesboro. So
give me a second to adjust some parameters.
Yeah, get some of the little towns there. So Waynesboro itself at about 621. Let's see. So Cromwell Crossroads at 604, Collinwood at 609. That's Waynesboro, like I mentioned, at 621. Highland and Ovila at 627. Deerfield at 631. Topsy at 632. Ashland 633. Center 636. Providence 637, Sweetwater 640, and Napier and Henryville at 641. Again, this is not severe, but this is just a heads up that, hey, there's a storm coming. It's got lightning, it's got some gusty winds, and it's got a little bit of some hail with it too. So if you are planning to do anything outside, whether go to church or do any outdoor activities, just know that, hey, this is coming up the pipe to you here very shortly, and this should stay to the east of Lawrenceburg. Did we do a storm track on the one coming into Franklin and Lawrence County?
We did before
we did?
it got
okay.
warm, yeah.
Has it really been? It's been a long day for me. I've been here since about 9 o'clock this morning. So we can just back things out, and since we don't have any active tornado warnings, we can go ahead and toss back to programming here very shortly. But just another brief update here. Again, that first initial severe thunderstorm warning that we came on for, moving out of Marshall County, and that's getting back into that's going to eventually get to the Murfreesboro area. That new severe thunderstorm warning that includes parts of Franklin, Colbert, and Lawrence counties, includes the west side of Moulton, the east side of Russellville, and includes Town Creek and the Hatton communities. And then that severe thunderstorm warning that will be allowed to expire very soon because that's moving into Tennessee. So we can kind of mark an X on that one. That one's done. That new tornado watch, or that expansion of that tornado watch, does include Wayne County and Lawrence County, includes Murray County, and includes, what's the county with Hohenwald again? That's Lewis County. And I'm still learning some of these county names. I'm still new to this area. And everything to the north of that, you guys are now under that tornado watch that goes until midnight tonight. Notice, like we've been talking about, all those tornado warnings, they're still off to the west. The cells that are developing here, the cloud bases, they're too high to really get a pretty good tornado risk going in our area, but we're still watching things. They can easily drop some large hail, some heavy rain, and some damaging winds, but the tornado threat is on the lower end of things with our cells right here for now. Everything tornadic is remaining off to our west. We're still watching the radar very closely. We'll be back on here for any additional warnings that do pop up, but until then, we'll toss you back to your regularly scheduled program. For myself, Taylor Plott, for Chief Meteorologist Fred Gossage and Meteorologist Kelly Rawson, thanks for tuning in to the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. We'll keep you advised.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.